What is going on, guys? Welcome to Toaster Tuesday. Thanks so much for stopping by the garage. Today I actually have some help. As you can see, the wife and I are going to go ahead and dynamat the, for lack of a better word, dynamat the XB. So let me show you what I got from Amazon, as always, for like $50, dude. For $50. Check out what I got. All right, I got this box here of Kilmat, KLM 5050. You see it right there. This is 50 square feet of basically dynamat. For lack of a better word, like I said, this is a sound deadening material that should help with any kind of rattles and maybe cut down a little bit of excess noise that we may be getting through the box. It comes with 1 million of these sheets that are pre-cut to, I don't know, I would say 12 by 24 or something like that. No, maybe not. Maybe 12 by 20. I don't know. Comment below how big you think these are. But yeah, dude, look at all this. Look at it. It's like 25 pounds of this stuff. And we aren't going to be installing every bit of it today, but we're going to be installing a good amount of it today. So this is a heck of a deal, man. If you shop around, if you look at Dynomat, if you look at Mat, it's another one. This Kilmat deal, man, this is a heck of a deal. 50 bucks, all this. You read the reviews on Amazon, man, you're going to see it got killer reviews. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. I've never done any of this before, so we're going to go ahead and start applying this. But before we do, let me show you these little rollers I also got off of Amazon. These things are really heavy, and they are supposed to be a big help when applying this dynamat. So I think these were $18 for this set, and should really help getting it installed. So I'm excited to give them a shot. All right, guys, so to get things started with dynamatting, the first thing we're going to start with is the license plate. So you can see here, Kelly is removing the license plate bolts because we're going to stick a thing of dynamat on the back of that plate. So there's nothing worse than a rattling license plate. So that's the first thing we're going to go ahead and put some dynamat in the back of. Super easy to do. We're going to go ahead and trace around this and then cut it out. And we're also going to find out just how hard this stuff is to cut. So now that we have the plate traced out, we're going to go ahead and cut about 1 inch inside of that tracing, and Kelly is going to use these snips that we absolutely love. I'll put a link down below, but I want to see just how well these work on this kind of Kilmat sort of substance here. So why don't you go ahead and see how well that cuts. I think this is going to do a great job. Oh yeah, it's doing a great job, right? Yep. Perfect. Yeah. So that's going to be how we do this. Those snips are amazing. Like I said, I'll put a link down in the description. You can cut this stuff with razor blades and, you know, all sorts of other ways, but having these snips, man, it makes it super easy. All right, now Kelly's going to go ahead and peel the backing off of that and stick it to the plate, and let's see how hard this stuff is to work with. All right, so stick it down there real good and then roll it over with those rollers, and this is our first test here, how well this works. All right, what do you think? Good job? Yeah. How's it feel now? Pick it up. Does it feel like dense?
Feels solid, yeah.
Let me see. Oh yeah, dude. It feels like there are like 2 of them. Yeah. Right? It feels like it's like back to back or something.
Yeah.
All right, so that should definitely cut down any possible rattle that we may get from our license plate, because man, there is nothing worse than a rattling license plate. All right, let's go ahead and throw it back on the car, and that part is done. All right, so went ahead and reinstalled the license plate. It's nice and solid now. I'm not worried about that. Now we're going to go ahead and drop this panel here, and we're going to go ahead and apply this stuff all to the back side of the hatch. Not only will it cut down any possible vibration from our, of course, newly installed subwoofer, but it also should cut down a lot of road noise that we get through this panel. All right, Kelly did a great job removing that back panel, and she and I are looking under here. I grabbed the flashlight here so you can see, but there's already a piece, look like old sign installed, but man, it is flaking off.
It's crunchy.
It's so funny too how they only put one on. All this bare material here.
Just one on.
Go ahead and tap on that, Kel. Listen to that. You guys hear that?
But just one piece over there.
Yeah, we're just going to put one piece there. That'll take care of all that. But that sound that you hear when Kelly taps on it is what we're trying to deaden, okay? So that's what our goal is here today, get everything as quiet as possible. So we're going to start by applying the, what is that stuff called? Kilmat to the actual back of the rear panel there. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to get some pieces and start sticking it. So Kelly and I are working here, and we're just about finished with the under skin, I guess, of the rear hatch, and I think it turned out really well. How do you think, honey?
Let's have a vote on whose side looks better.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can do that now. I can tell you already, Kelly's is going to look better. So this is my side here, and that's Kelly's side over there. Now, she has the advantage because she has smaller hands, and she's really good at wrapping gifts. I'm terrible at wrapping gifts, man. And my hands were a detriment.
This is a good little section here.
But yeah, you can see in this section here, I went ahead and actually cut a little piece out so it would fit around that screw. So you can get as crazy as you want with this stuff, or installing it rather. We know that no one's ever going to see this besides you guys. And our goal again is just to get as much coverage as we can. Now, you guys are wondering, do you have to cover the entire panel? And the answer is no, 30%. If you get 30% of the panel covered, you will achieve a very, very good result as far as sound deadening and anti-rattle. So we definitely achieved that on the back skin of the hatch. So now she's putting one last piece in, but we're going to start attacking the skeleton of the frame, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this as well. We're going to be mindful of the holes that are for reinstallation of that coverage panel, so we won't cover those. But all of this, we're going to cover all that skeleton. So that's what we're doing now. All right, so we've been working with this stuff, like I said, for, I don't know, 20 minutes. And what do you think of those snips, man? Is it making it super easy?
Yeah, the snips are awesome.
And the stuff's super easy to work with, right?
It's very easy. I mean, you would think it would be like, it's really sticky, but it's not like impossible sticky where you like stick it and can't like move it. It's totally easy to work with.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps to use the rollers. The rollers really take it to another level as far as adhesing to the panel, which there are definitely some parts underneath here that you just can't get the roller. But we're going to hopefully roll the whole section here on the skeleton of the door, and we should get a pretty darn good result. We're already pretty happy with the result that we've achieved. You hear that? It's way more of a thud than a ting that we had before.
Solid.
Yeah, this is going to be like driving a Lexus now. All right, guys, we got the rear hatch done, and what a difference. Check it out. Go ahead and knock on it. You hear that? Go ahead. Give it a good knock up there. See that? It's not nearly as hollow sounding as it was. This made a huge difference. And it didn't take us that long to do. How long do you think this took us to do?
Half an hour.
Half an hour? I think it was somewhere between that and an hour. Whatever it wasn't a long time. And dude, it makes a huge difference. A huge difference. So we're gonna go ahead and put the rear panel back on. You know, when you're doing this, you can get as creative as you want. You can make these cuts as clean as you want. This piece right here, Kelly will tell you, it took me about 10 minutes to do because there's an actual hole here where one of the grommets goes through. Kelly did like her entire side. It took, by the time it took me to do this one piece. But you can get like really, you know, as neat as you want with this stuff. Again, no one's going to see it. And you're going to get ultimately the exact same thing done. But it's kind of fun. It's not as terrible as you might think, right?
No,
this isn't.
It's really easy to work with.
One key thing when you're doing this is the temperature's got to be comfortable. In a perfect world, it would be like 90 degrees out, honestly, for adhesion, not for doing it because you'd be dying. But today it's 70 degrees out. It's really, really comfortable. It's the perfect temperature to do something like this, especially now that we're moving on to the doors. But just so you know, if it's 50 degrees out and you're trying to apply this stuff, you're going to want to use a heat gun while adhering the actual piece to the metal, because otherwise it won't stick right. So the car has to be to a decent temperature for everything to work really well. We've had no issues with the temperature that we're working in. So we're going to go ahead, put this panel back on, and move on to the passenger and driver's doors. All right, guys, so for the doors, once you get the door panel off, you're going to have to remove the vapor barrier, which is this piece of plastic that goes around the car. We're going to want to go ahead and do the exact same thing that we did to the rear hatch. So we kind of have to remove some of this stuff. It's kind of stuck on here, so we get this off and start doing the skins as well as the skeleton of the door. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you want to have your window up when you're doing this, otherwise the glass is going to be in the way. Before you start installing the Kilmat on the doors, you're going to want to clean them. My doors were really, really dirty. This was pretty much, you know, a nice clean rag when I started. You're going to want to clean the skeleton as well as the inside of the door. So do the best you can. I went ahead and even removed the speaker just so we can get that area really well with the Kilmat. And one last thing, if any of you know how to remove the door handle, please let me know. I cannot figure out how to remove it, so I actually cut the vapor barrier around the door handle because I didn't want to break it or mess it up in any way. So comment below if you know how to remove this thing, because I have no idea. So how's it coming along over here?
People need to hire me to do this. Look at how awesome that looks. I should just keep the whole panel off because it looks so good in there.
Man, you did do a really good job, huh? Look at that, all the way down in there. How's it sound now?
Much better.
Much better, right?
Yeah.
You hear that, guys? And then out here.
I'm really proud of that.
You should be, it looks awesome.
Nobody's ever going to see it, but...
So now, I'll do the skeleton. If you can get even pieces behind here, that would be good.
So...
Or down here at least. If you can get pieces on the other side of this, just a couple little ones,
okay.
and then like a big piece right here.
Are we doing this side too?
Yeah. Yeah, but just if you get just down here, because a lot of the noise, the road noise comes up from under the bottom of the door.
Okay.
So anything we can kind of do to reinforce that up here, that'll make a big difference.
Don't cover these holes.
No, don't cover these holes. So just, put smaller pieces in there, but what an amazing job. I am nowhere near this good on my side. So how's it going? You pretty much finished?
Yeah, I think we're done over here.
So you got a ton of coverage here.
Yeah. Got on the inside, down here, up back in here. Oh, of course in the back.
Now listen to it.
It sounds solid.
Such a difference.
Yeah, it's gonna make a huge difference.
We can't wait to put on the door panels and go for a ride and see what the difference is.
Yeah.
But I think that's about as good as we're gonna get on that door.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think my side's pretty much the same, so we'll go ahead and throw the door panels on and take it for a test drive.
Alrighty.
Alright guys, we are in the car, out on the road, and heck of an install, would you agree?
Yeah, it was actually pretty fun, I have to admit.
It wasn't that bad. No, honestly, Kelly was a huge help. She did a better job than I did, hands down. Her door panel was way better than my door panel. That's kind of why I didn't show you guys. But all in all, it really wasn't too bad. I think it took us a little under 3 hours. It may have even been a little less than that.
Yeah, probably. A little less.
But we've been driving around. We've been listening to music. We have been driving with no music.
Yeah.
And this is what I will report. You can chime in on whatever you think is different. The rear hatch is way more solid. When I open and close that now, it is a huge difference, okay? The doors, when you open and close the doors, a little bit of a difference. I don't think you would notice it if I didn't tell you that we went ahead and dynamatted them, okay? Road noise is subjective. Obviously, we just put in like 3 hours worth of work trying to put sound deadening in. So we're like, have kind of a placebo effect thing working on us. But I'll be honest with you, if there is a difference in road noise, it is extremely minimal. And the big reason why we do this is for sound quality when listening to the stereo. So we want no rattles, and we want a really, really solid sound to the car. So that's why we put all the work in. And we just listened to a bunch of different mix of music, and it all sounded really good. And that's with all the windows up and everything like sealed as much as we can, and playing the music. And I think we did a good job. I mean, it's worth it for that.
Yeah.
Now I know you guys are saying, what about the rear speakers and the kind of rear hatch area? And I will do that at some point. I'm not trying to like end my marriage today by dragging Kelly through dismantling the rear seat for like the 3rd time in 3 weeks, but I will do that at some point. And there is so much left over. We didn't even use half.
No, there was really half the box left. So I used a lot of the scraps that we cut.
Yeah, that's you can like recycle all the pieces.
Yeah,
There's like no waste, because even if you cut like a little sliver,
it's like a puzzle. You're just putting a puzzle together, so you can use all the scraps.
yeah, you can find a place to put that little scrap.
Yeah.
So
I'll be honest though, I don't drive in this car very much, but the door seems a lot more sturdy. I don't know what the word is. It just seems
solid.
Solid, yeah. And the speakers, of course, sound awesome. So, I think that it helps for sure.
Yeah, it definitely helps. And for $50, I mean, come on, $50. It's totally worth it. The only downside to sound deadening the car is you're adding weight to it, okay, and the man hours that you put into it, because it does take a long time. There's no secret. There's no quick way to do it. There are even a lot longer ways to do it than we did. There's some people that trace it all out and
forget it.
Put like one big piece up. I mean, come on, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, no.
But you have to have the rollers. You have to have the rollers. They make a huge difference.
And sharp scissors.
Yes, and those snips that we used, they are the way to go. Go down in the description box. There'll be links to both those things. You have to have the rollers. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And those snips make it so much easier. I couldn't even imagine doing it with a razor blade.
Oh my God.
It would be a nightmare. It would be a nightmare.
Even with the X-Acto knife, when I was kind of cutting some corners off, it just doesn't hack it as well as those scissors do.
So go down in the comments, click those links, buy those things if you're going to do this to your car. Well, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. We're headed to get some food. Thank you so much for watching. Kelly, thank you so much for your help.
You're welcome.
We had it done in such a quick time because of all the work that you did.
Thank you.
So hit us up next Tuesday, guys. We got, what are we doing? Rear camera. Rear camera. I'm doing it. I'm doing the rear camera. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Later.